Hello, I'm Michal and I'm 28 and I live in Royal Docks. Actually, I really wanted to quit since a very long time. And I was always saying, all right, so maybe it will be next year, or I'm still young, you know, like it's like, and then there are a few factors. So one of those was that I turned 28, still smoking a pack a day or more. And I realized that, you know, like it's pretty soon, like my 30th birthday says that, you know, that point when you think like what do you need to change in your life, and like you think like you are not young anymore. And I was thinking like how am I going to able to fully recover, or like to have my lungs fully recovered from as you know, all of this you know, substances which you are inhaling. The other thing is that in my family, like my all grandparents, every single member from that line got cancer somehow, and except of my grandma, all of them were smoking. So me seeing my granddad, who's like 90, having like, he had like saying like around 6 heart attacks overall, and two cancers located in different parts of his body over the decade, I thought that that's not the way how I would like to get old. And the third, actually, factor was that my closest friend's mom got severe cancer, which is spread everywhere in her body, which inspired me just to, and as well she was smoking for a while, not throughout her whole life, but like that was a lung cancer, and the doctor said that probably that was caused because you used to smoke. So all of these 3 factors inspired me to really quit smoking. Yes, definitely I had something like, so definitely I used to smoke because I thought it's going to kind of relax me. So I'm a creative, I'm a composer, so when I was working on a new piece, I quite often was going for a cigarette because that was this time when I was having a time off just for myself and not using my brain at all. But the other thing was always I was smoking when I wanted to kill time, for instance waiting for the bus. Or I used to smoke when it was connected with some social gathering, especially connected with alcohol. When we had some drinks, I had like the habit that definitely it need to be connected, like a cocktail need to be connected with a cigarette, and the same thing was with a coffee. So the morning coffee was connected with a cigarette too. Okay. And maybe I can add as well when I used to walk somewhere from point A to B, or when I was enclosed for a longer time within one place or building, like, you know, like during the studies in university, I had this time to kind of refresh my mind, and that's how I was connecting and associating cigarettes with something relaxing, or connected to some drinks, some sort of drinks like coffee or alcohol. So definitely I was scared that I won't be able to, like my resistance will be pretty low, that I'm going to just, you know, like not smoke for a day or two and then straightforward I'm going to return. The other thing was that I remember that my quit day was when I had a pretty heavy day in terms of working and teaching. I was as well hosting like an academic session when to our university someone came to give a speech like outside the university. So, you know, in general that thing is, I'm not saying super stressful, but something went wrong, or, you know, there are all of these fears. And during that day, that was my first day without cigarettes as well. So I was like thinking that what's going to happen with my mental health, if I'm going to freak out, how about my eating habits, how am I going to, you know, like get rid of all of these things. And actually, so I had these fears, I had some fears about as well compulsive eating issues, and I didn't have any of those. So if I can say, like from my experience, only first 3 days were pretty tough. Yeah. So the first 2 days were like I really wanted to smoke, and I was getting a bit crazy, but not as I was imagining before. So that wasn't as severe as I thought it will be. Yeah. And I think like smoking e-cigarette helped me during that time. But after 3 days, I really didn't want to come back to these habits. And I think like maybe after a week I had something like that. All right, so let's use this e-cigarette, and it's something like a replacement. And even like after the week, I started feeling like people smoking on the street, like it actually smells very bad to me. As before, like for instance, before when I used to smoke, and I didn't smoke for a long time, when I when I smelled this cigarette thing, I was thinking like, oh nice, I would like to smoke as well. So yeah. So I was like, first thing with the clinic was like, I was feeling that I'm not alone in this whole process, that I had someone who is guiding me through this pretty challenging journey. And my therapist, Akansha, was super extremely supporting with that. So the first thing was like, she was calling me pretty frequently to check in, to check how I'm doing. She was always available to meet with me, to have a session in person. When I was missing some suppliers, as well, like the clinic is giving you suppliers for free related to items which can help you with quitting smoking, like e-cigarettes, liquids, patches. And as well, every time when I was running out something, I could just get in touch with a clinic and it was just delivered straight forward to my mailbox. So I think that definitely, in my case, because everyone is different, everyone is having different needs, but in my case the most important thing was that I had someone who was available for me to talk and who was guiding me through, who helped me how to structure all of these things, how to manage the quitting day, because like for me, I think that one of the most important things from that was that we settled and we set up this quitting date, where if I would do it by myself, it will never happen. It will be like, all right, my quitting day is today or tomorrow, and no, maybe it will be next week. So that was very helpful that someone, let's say at the very beginning, a stranger, someone I didn't know, said to me, all right, so let's set the quitting date. And when I just reached this quitting date, I thought it's like, I need to stop smoking now, because otherwise I won't stop in my life. Yeah. Oh, so definitely. So maybe I'll try to follow it in a more chronological way. Yeah. So as I mentioned before, these first 3 days, they are like pretty tough. They're like absolutely extremely disrupting. Like first night I was not sleeping. I'm not sure if that was because it really affected my body or because I was so excited, like emotionally, that's the new beginning. But definitely, like first thing is like e-cigarette. So like before I didn't like e-cigarettes. I really like the traditional cancerogenic cigarettes, which I felt that they are natural and they felt much better than e-cigarette. And I didn't like e-cigarette. I didn't like all of these flavors. I didn't like because it was as well giving me some cough, which was very surprising. Actually this e-cigarette was something which saved my life within these days. I was used to overuse e-cigarette during these first 3 days, but definitely that was much better than smoking the regular cigarettes. Then this e-cigarette became my friend, and I just that was what Akansha told me to do as well, to use e-cigarette during this situation when I normally used to smoke cigarettes. So when I was traveling, like when I was walking from point A to B, I used to use the e-cigarette. When I was waiting for the bus, I started using e-cigarette. After coffee, after cocktails with the social gatherings, I used to use this. I started using e-cigarettes, and that was something which helped me at the very beginning. I was using patches as well, and till that day I'm not sure how they work, if that's more psychological or physiological thing, but definitely it worked somehow, because day by day I was feeling that I really wouldn't like to smoke cigarettes, or I don't have this kind of like desire to smoke the regular traditional cigarette. So I would say most of them are pretty positive. So I was expecting that, like because of lack of cigarettes, I'm going to like be super nervous that my mental health I'm going to have a breakdown, or I'm going to eat compulsively, because that's what I heard from people, that you're going to eat a lot because you don't have cigarettes, so you need to eat a lot. So actually none of those is true. I found it out that after quitting, I became to feel more relaxed, and I wasn't stressed at all after these few days. As well, I'm not sure how does it work, if that's maybe only in my mind, but I feel that the way how I breathe is different. So because of the way how that I can finally breathe deeply, I don't have any continuous cough which was related to smoking, because before I used to cough all the time. And as well, I realized that when I'm, for instance, like, because that's mostly my only activity for now, running for the bus or like being in a rush. So when I'm running somewhere, I don't feel tired as well. Mm-hmm. So all of these three things made me motivated me to think that that was a great decision as well. It became like I started experiencing all of these positive symptoms just a week after, I would say, the first one. So I was pretty surprised that it's coming back, or it's appearing so quickly or briefly, sorry. So I would say the most important thing is to do it as soon as possible. So to don't delay it, to don't think that there will be a better day or a better time in your life, because you see time pass so quick, and you are not realizing how many years it went already, and how many years you were badly affecting your lungs and your whole organism. So I think that my pro tip is just to do it ASAP, and it's not going to be a better day.